I'm Patrick Bailey with whiteboardcoder.com. Today is July 3rd, 2020, and in this video I'm going to be gluing some PVC pipe and PVC fittings together in order to make a test bed for my hose bib and my sprinklers that I will be installing in my backyard this summer. We're doing some landscaping in our backyard this summer, and as part of this we're putting in a sprinkler system and even a hose bib off the sprinkler line. And now I've never glued PVC before, but if I have, it's been quite some time, I don't quite remember. So what I wanted to do was make a test run so that I could make sure that I know what I'm doing with the PVC gluing, and also test some of my ideas out with the sprinkler and the hose bib, and also to have a future sprinkler test bed that I could test my sprinklers with, so I'm not sure exactly where to place them right now. So like most of you, I have watched a few YouTube videos on how to glue PVC pipe, and I put some in my show notes. And also, here's one I really like: Proper Techniques for Gluing PV Joints. That was done by Ewing. Or Ewing, not sure how you pronounce it, but I like their video probably the best, probably the most complete. But anyway, they're in the show notes. Now, I'm going to go over real quickly what I bought at Home Depot to make this test bed. And it's pretty much in order on how I build it, from left to right. So you can probably go watch the video, see what I made, and come back here and see what I bought if you need to buy similar stuff. So going down the line, of course, here's the PVC cement glue. I bought some PVC pipe 1 inch. I also bought 3/4 inch pipe because I have, most of it's going to be 1 inch, but the hose bib is 3/4 inch. So there's a little section that I have to convert to 3/4 inch. I bought this brass fitting to connect to my hose so I can actually get pressure off my hose into this. Here's the male adapter, and you can see I bought several of these as you watch the video later to see where I put the ball valves. There's I think there's only one 90-degree joint in here, elbow. Let's see. And I have a couple of these ball valves so I can turn on and off the pressure, which is what I'm going to do in my main line. And I prefer using this brass versus the plastic. I just had a bad experience with plastic in the past, so I just want something stronger and easier to work with. So I got this brass stuff. And a reducing tee. Oh, this is a reducing tee. Sorry, yeah, I got a couple of these. Well, one that I use on here because I have the T, which is 1 inch, but the one coming on the top, that is 3/4 inch, and that's what I need to hook onto my 3/4 inch pipe that goes up to my hose bib. And also on that, I have a 3/4 inch 45-degree angle. Let's see, I've got this, which is the female adapter to hook onto my actual hose bib pipe that I'm using. And here's the galvanized pipe I'm using for the hose bib. And then here's actually the hose, the garden valve that I'm using. And then I have a cross tee that I'm using in one section of it. I got some end caps. Now these are all 1 inch. I have this that converts over to 3/4 inch. And I use that for, what did I use that for? I have to go look at the video again. I have to go look what I did. Anyway, this has 1 inch, and this comes to a 3/4, but it's got a screw on the end. So you can actually screw something into that. Oh, sorry, that's what I use for the sprinkler system. The sprinkler system has to go into a 3/4 inch. Then I have this, the swing assembly, that has the 3/4 inch on one end, and the other end will hook into a sprinkler head. And I got a sprinkler head. In fact, I got a couple of them, but I'll be testing, I think, this one in the video. And then plumber's tape. I need plumber tape for all the places where I screw things together. So that's what I got. Now let's go assemble it. Oh, I forgot to mention all the price on all this. With taxes included and just kind of rounded up to the next dollar, this whole thing cost me about $125 to do. Now, if you intend to do something like this, then disassemble and reuse as many parts as you can. There's only about $20, $30 worth of parts that are sacrificial because you glued them and they're not going to come apart again. But most of the parts I can reuse again, like the ball valves and the sprinkler heads. But I don't know, $125 to do this, roughly. And then, $20, $30 sacrificial. Okay, one thing I forgot is a pipe cutter. So I got this off Amazon. This is a really nice pipe cutter because it ratchets. So it cuts pipes really good. I really like it a lot. But with that, let me go over my assemblage here. So what I have here for my test bed, on the end, I got my brass fitting so I can put my hose on it. So this will just screw on my hose just fine. And this screws on to this piece, PVC piece. Then we got cut PVC 1 inch elbow. We got this that threads into this. We have our ball valve. And here I have my 45-degree T that goes into a 3/4 inch. This is 1 inch. This is a 3/4 inch pipe. And then I got a 45-degree angle here. And this is 3/4 inch pipe, which I'm going a little long right here because I only bought one of these. This is smooth on one side and has the screw on the other. And the idea is somewhere I would, probably not this high, but that would be my hose bib. And that's what I want to test here. Then I have this cross and these with the end caps, and that's just so it doesn't rock back and forth. And then I got another lever, another ball valve, and then here I have this T-joint that screws in here, and then I have this and my sprinkler. And then I have almost a cap over here, but I have a plug. That way, you know, I can simulate draining things out. So the idea here is I can pressurize it, and then I can close my valves off and test a few different things. I can, well, it's not glued yet. So I can test a few different things, but ultimately when I'm done, and after I'm confirmed testing the bib and I'm happy with that, I'm probably going to cut this section out and then just connect this next to here. So this will probably come out and be like here, and I'll remove this section, because I think I'm going to keep this section over here, because then I can test sprinklers. And in fact, this, as I assemble this, I'm going to replace this tube with this short tube with a full 10-foot long, because these sprinklers can shoot out really far, right? So I don't want to get sprayed. So I'm going to replace that when I do this. So with that, let's get to gluing. Okay, so I'm going to glue one of them, and I'll do a time lapse because no one wants to watch me sit here and glue all of them. So what I'm going to start with is just this elbow here, because if I screw that up, I have lots of elbows. Some of these other parts, I don't have quite as many I bought from the store. So, oh, and hey, we'll cut one. This is cool. I'll show you the cut. This is cool because it ratchets, pops out, put any pipe in there.
Like butter.
Like butter. It's just, I like it. It's almost too dangerous, but I like it. Okay, so let me get some gloves on. I don't know how toxic this stuff is or not, but I'm going to play it safe and not get my hands all purple colored, right? Because this one, the primer does stain. In fact, there was one video talking about inspectors want to make sure, if you're getting your stuff inspected, which I'm not, I don't need to, they like to see that purple color to confirm that, yeah, you really did do the job well. Now, I don't think you do this so much. Well, you do need to make sure it's nice and clean because it needs to go there. Now, one guy I saw, he was making sure it was a little beveled. So if you want to, I don't know if I'll do this myself. I think this could be, you know, a little overkill. But just making sure it's smooth and making sure nothing's on there on the inside or outside is a good idea. But I don't know if you need to do that so much. Could depend on your job. So first we got the primer and we got the glue. You see, you got a little ball here. And so what I'm going to do is we're going to work around this and make sure you're in a well ventilated place because it's starting to knock me down already. Whew. And one guy mentioned going around 30 times. I don't know if that's a thing, but you want to go around there really good. Get that set up really well. Okay, make sure we don't have that tip over. And then do the same thing on the inside of where you're attaching. But remember, this is my first time doing it, so you're probably better off watching some other videos on the particular how-tos. Oop, a little too much there. Well, there's a good knot to do. I got too much on there, and so now I got some dripping through there. So you probably don't want that. I don't think it's a big issue, but still. And we got our glue. So I hit this with some glue. Oh, a little too, I think I got a little too much out of there too. And it helps to have multiple hands.
So we'll see how this goes. Now they say to stick it in there, and after you stick it in there, turn it. Oh, look at that, see? That's one thing they're warning about, see how it comes out. So after you get it in there, do a quarter turn, and they say hold it for 30 seconds, otherwise there are potential, sometimes it's not a problem, but sometimes like you just saw it pops out, and it was popping out on me. So you hold it for 30 seconds, and hopefully it sticks. And then after that, they say you can put pressure on it in 15 minutes, but more likely it's probably a good idea to wait 2 hours for it to cure the whole way. Oh, and make sure you're in a well-ventilated place, because I can smell it right now. Trying to get some whiffs of it. And I think I overdid it on the primer. Okay, let go. I think we are good on that. So now I'll just start working my way down and getting the rest of it done. Okay, so it's been actually more than a couple hours now. And I did tie something to this just to let it have a support right now for the meantime. I got the hose attached real tight. I got the water on, and nothing's leaking, so yay. Well, I guess I got a little leak up here where the threads are, but I need to probably turn that. But when I first did this, I turned this one on. They're both closed. I turned that one on. I can hear the water rush, and it filled everything up to that closed gate, filled this all up, and I got water. So that worked. Now let me close this, and then this will be nice for testing out sprinklers. There we go. Popped up. And I got a couple different kind of sprinkler heads I want to try. And I also need to learn how to adjust these. I've never adjusted a sprinkler, so turn it off, it's down. And also, you got both on the same time, so that worked. Now I am going to come back and cut this section out. I don't need this section for my sprinkler testing, but I did want to test my bib to make sure that worked like how I thought it would, and it does. Although I probably need to tighten it on a little bit more. But yeah, I feel confident. This is not the way. I feel confident in doing this gluing job. I think it's all holding steady. Nothing's popping out. Nothing's leaking. I'll do some more tests, but I'm pretty happy with it. So, hooray.
Thanks for watching. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please give it a like. To subscribe, just click the subscribe button. Also, you can follow me on Twitter under the handle @whiteboardcoder.com. View any code I may have thrown up as a gist at GitHub under the username PatmanDenver, or check out my blog site at whiteboardcoder.com.